Hey, what's going on everybody? So this is Micah just checking in for a video update, but I actually want to do one specifically around my supplementation that I'm currently using in my building phase. Honestly, you don't have to use these. It's just specifically what I'm using or what I'm diving into as far as supporting what I'm doing with my nutrition and my training. So if those two things aren't on point with training and nutrition, supplementation is really not going to do the work for you. It's just to help supplement what you're currently doing. So if you're not doing very much with nutrition or training, you're just kind of wasting your money. And honestly, you can use examine.com. That's the website that I currently use, just to kind of see if there's current research what these supplements actually do. A lot of them kind of just don't do very much for you. So it's really nice that website kind of breaks down research and compiles that into one database where you can look up specific ingredients just to see how legit it is, and then also proper dosage, how to take it, when to take it. And so that's just my spiel on supplementation, honestly. And if you've got health conditions, health issues, it's always good to kind of keep your doctor in the loop, what you're currently using, because it may conflict with some things that you're already taking as far as medications. So other than that, I'll just kind of go right into it. Just some things that I currently use that are just kind of a constant. And one of the biggest things is creatine monohydrate. Probably one of the best supplements that you can take. There's a lot of research behind it, a lot of studies that are backing what creatine monohydrate does, just to help support your recovery when it comes down to ATP production and what that really does when you're currently working out. Honestly, you don't have to take it before your workout, after your workout, during your workout. It just kind of depends. It just is more prone to taking it daily. So I take in 5 grams. I don't typically care when I take it, as long as I take it each day, and that consistency is there. The whole idea is to get 100% saturation into your muscles. That's why there's like a loading phase. Honestly, you don't have to do that, but it's such a cheap supplement that you can go for months before you actually have to buy it again. So it's really up to you if you want to do a loading phase for that week or those 5 days where you're taking in like 10 grams a day. Basically, you're just kind of speeding up the process for 100% saturation. And the reason why some people aren't really noticing too much of a difference when they take in creatine is because they already have 100% saturation before they even start taking it, because you can get this naturally in food and your current diet. But for me, I know I don't typically get that, and I notice a big difference when I'm on this or when I'm off of it. Honestly, I don't necessarily take it out very often, but just to kind of give my body a rest. But very good supplements, a staple even during a contest prep. And some say that you hold water with this. I don't hold any water with this. Okay, so another thing to kind of keep in my constants is protein powder. Honestly, I'm not supported, like I said, I'm not supported by a particular brand, so I'm not really pledging allegiance to any particular brand in particular. Currently I'm using like Cellucor, just because it is a pretty good product as far as taste, and it's a good blend of protein. There's not very much as far as fillers are concerned. As long as I can go through an ingredient label and understand where those ingredients are coming from, then fine. There are some ingredients out there that I don't know why they're in there, why they're in a particular product. It's just like a filler, and it's just garbage. And honestly, if I want a protein powder, I basically want a protein powder. So I'm using Cellucor. Honestly, I have like a ton of different ones. I got MTS Whey. I got Muscle Farms protein. I mean, honestly, I like to have blends specifically when I'm in a building phase, just because it has a blend of protein, so whey concentrate, whey isolate, there's even some rice protein in there. I mean, it's just kind of a blend, some casein. I like that just because it is cheaper. The only reason why I would get like an isolate by itself is that if I'm really watching my protein more of my fats and my carbs. I don't need any of those additions during like a prep, and I want to have as much food as possible on a plate rather than a shake, just to help out with satiety. Anyway, so it really doesn't really matter for me particularly if I can go through an ingredient list and I can understand where those ingredients are coming from and it's not like a filler. More power to me. So the other thing that I typically have in my diet is like fish oils and a multivitamin. You know, specifically when it's like a contest prep, I know I'm not getting a lot of my micros, especially when I hit closer and closer to the stage. And just to help support my healthiness and just staying healthy, I take these on a daily regiment. I take it in the morning. Really, you can take it anytime during the day. It's just, for me, it's just a pattern. It's a habit for me. So I take it before my breakfast. One thing about multivitamins and fish oils, you just want to make sure that they're USP certified. That way you know what you're getting. You have to kind of go through a process to even get that type of label. So that's why I stick, with those particularly. You don't have to go to a GNC or vitamin shop to get, your vitamins. Plus, those are a lot more expensive. Anyway, so kind of moving on with other things. I am taking some pre-workouts, honestly. It's only to help when I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning to go work out, that I have those days where I don't feel that great or I don't have that much energy, so I take some pre-workouts. Honestly, I don't have a specific one that I stick with, so I actually have Optimum Nutrition pre-workout. I got Muscle Tex Anarchy pre-workout. I've got, this is like a new brand, True Grit pre-workout, and I got Black Powder MRI pre-workout. Honestly, like I said, it's really dependent on the person and what they're looking for. But I use examine.com just to kind of break down the ingredients, and it goes for any label. If I can go down the ingredient list and kind of see where the dosages are, and I can, some of them I might have to take 2 servings. Some of them are properly dosed where I can just take 1 serving. Sometimes I use a blend, depending on what I'm doing for that particular day, where I might need a little bit more of energy to kind of make it through like a leg day or a really heavy back day. But it's really dependent, and I like these brands, or I like these pre-workouts just because for me personally, I've been able to notice some differences, the way that I train, the way that I recover, and the way that I'm able to stay focused. And none of these have ever really gotten to me a point where I crash at the end of my workout, or I'm really extremely tired throughout the course of the day. So I tend to stick with those. And then I also have Creactor. It's just a creatine HCl hydrochloride. I got this as far as a sample is concerned, so when that runs out I probably won't get it again. And then I have like cetrulline malate. It's kind of helps with a precursor for L-arginine, kind of helps with that, as far as that's concerned, as far as a pump. Got some core nutritional H&B. Basically it's a metabolite of leucine, so we all know that leucine is really good for muscle protein synthesis and making sure that that process can actually get started so that you can build some muscle. This is more of like a luxury item as well. It's like branched chain amino acids. I'm not specific to a brand. Whatever's pretty much on sale, and it has a 2:1:1 ratio with leucine to valine to isoleucine, I'm going to get it. I don't really care about what brand it is, as long as I can see that the ratios are properly dosed. And then since it is my building phase, sometimes I'm just not in the mood to eat as much food as I am taking, so I do have Enlarge 3. This is by ProLab. It's probably one of the cleaner mass gainers out there, and specifically I know Moji had a hand in helping with creating this, and there's not any fillers in this. It's straight, very straightforward product when it comes down to calories. And you know, and so you don't need a crap ton of dirty calories, or just, you know, you want to have something that's really nice. And a lot of times with mass gainers, there's a lot of fillers, a lot of garbage in there that you don't necessarily need. But I just like this just because it tastes good, and you know, you get your calories if you need them when you can't get in enough food for the day. But you know, these are just some of the things that I currently use. Like I said, you don't need to use these. It's more person to person specific, and you know, these are the things that I feel like you really kind of optimize what I'm currently doing. If I had to strip away supplements to bare bones and what I would stick with, it would be number one, creatine monohydrate would stay in there all the time. Fish oils and a multivitamin, and of course some protein powder, whether a weight gainer or just a regular blend. And you know, I have an ISO 0 from Muscle Tech, like an isolate, but honestly, those are probably the only things that I would probably stick with all the way through, no matter what phase, or building phase, cutting, you know, contest prep phase. All these other things are just kind of luxury items, to be honest with you. So other than that, if there's any questions, if there's anything that you have questions about, then definitely leave them below in the comments section. I'll definitely address them in future videos. But I appreciate you guys kind of, you know, following my progress, what I'm currently doing. But other than that, have a good one. Bye bye.